This is the men's room.
Get it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off the Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Razor Consultants are standing by. We'll take caller 9 at 844-999. Ola to play profile this in minutes. And we do have your headlines on the way 1 hour from now. First, quick check into Mike Hawk for some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
All right, around half of people with tattoos say they regret at least one of them.
No, so far so good.
The types of tattoos they're most likely to regret are, any ideas?
Barbed wire?
Names.
Absolutely, someone's name.
Yeah, don't do it. If they're not dead, don't do it.
An Asian character.
Okay.
A tribal pattern or a star constellation.
A star constellation?
I don't know why you'd regret that.
A star constellation?
Yeah. I mean, if I would think that you would put like your zodiac sign or Orion or something like that.
Mike, people don't know you have a full back piece of the Milky Way.
I know. That's
And
something
then,
that I've been keeping quiet. Thanks, Miles.
And a swastika on the front.
It was an old life that I gave up.
Yeah.
A woman in Missouri recently went to the hospital after she grew a ton of little black hairs on her tongue.
Oh, baby.
That's not okay.
Can you imagine? Oh, man. I mean, but if she had a pet, she could clean them.
That's not how it works.
Why did she have hair on her tongue?
They turned out to be a rare side effect of an antibiotic she was on, and once she stopped taking it, they went away.
And that's the only place the hair grew that we know, or that was just the one odd place it grew?
It does say that it grew elsewhere, but I'm not working on it.
Okay.
I don't care about elsewhere. Your tongue, it just doesn't seem like a place for hair.
Right. That is a bad spot for hair.
Tongue hair.
Mm-hmm.
According to a new study, the Mona Lisa's half smile might have been due to an underactive thyroid.
Why did they? Maybe she wasn't in a good mood. Maybe she was just ugly.
You also have to remember something. Have you ever tried to smile for like hours on end? I mean, like, it's a painting. It's not a picture.
Right.
This took a lot of time.
Yeah, why
you can't just sit there like. I mean, eventually your jaw's going to hurt.
Yeah, I don't know if this is a mystery. Maybe she wasn't in a good mood. Oh, it has to be her thyroid.
Maybe she was just sitting there for hours on end.
Try frowning for 4 hours. That's not easy either.
The new research found the average body temperature isn't 98.6 degrees.
I knew it. It's 97.5.
It depends on age, weight, and other factors. But the overall average is 97.7. Close, Ted.
No, there are a whole
Is that what your
degree
temperature is?
Currently?
Yeah.
I'm up to 95.9.
95.9.
A little worked up.
All right.
99 degrees is common for kids, so something like 99.2 might not actually be a fever.
What do you run?
I'm an idiot, Miles.
You have to be cooler, I know.
I know. My temperature is 99.9.
But Steve, you have a, but you run cold.
I do, man.
What do you run?
I gotta look at my chart again, man. It was like 97.1. Like,
Yeah, you're freezing.
it's like I died an hour ago.
But you're always
right?
cold.
You know what I mean? If you're doing an autopsy, they're like, "Oh my God, he died 12 hours ago." Like, no, dude, I literally just murdered.
But
this man.
you really are colder.
I really am colder. Someone told me once if I died, my body temperature would go up.
Know what I run, Miles?
Hot.
A news segment. A guy in Florida was hired at a company on
There was
Thursday.
so much there. Between him being cold, I knew he would set you up.
A man in Florida was hired at a company on Thursday, but he got fired 3 days later for throwing around supplies. And 2 hours after that, he tried to kill his boss.
Damn.
Dang.
Fortunately, all 5 bullets missed, and he was
Whoa.
arrested for attempted murder.
He wasn't a good shot either.
Yeah, right?
Can't do anything right.
I mean, can you imagine how worse things would be if people could actually shoot the weapons they own?
Yeah, he had 5 shots.
Right.
And
And then
that's serious. Like, a hail of gunfire and like one person is injured.
You telling me that you went out and you spent hundreds of
Thank
dollars
God.
on that beautiful weapon and you never took it to a range to
That's
actually
what I was
try?
going to say. Thank God that people really never do go and practice.
yeah.
Dumbass.
It's hard to hit anything after 5 shots.
Yeah.
Go with it. A 28-year-old woman in England pranked her husband last month by claiming they won over $300,000 in the lottery.
Uh-huh.
How hilarious. Then 3 weeks later, it actually happened. They won about $1.3 million.
Was she responsible for it or was he?
It says that I'm not working on it.
Oh.
Well, she must have been, because if he thought, did he believe for the 3 weeks that he had won
I don't
1
think
million?
he believed that the entire time.
Oh, yeah.
But so if she legitimately went and told him, he'd be like, "What do you think? I'm stupid?" Like, come on.
That's awesome. Good for them. It's almost like they made it happen.
I'm going to try that.
I totally won the lottery. Only 4% of people admit they're below average drivers, according to a new survey.
Because everyone else on the road is stupid.
Exactly. 22% of people say they're above average, and 48% say they're average.
I think it also, I always say this, but it depends on the person. Like, I think I'm a good driver, but most people would hate to be behind me as I do the speed limit and I'm in, like, the second to right lane.
You're a good driver, but that's not how people actually want to travel.
Right, so generally people that speed and go in and out think they're the best drivers.
Mm-hmm. So you got book knowledge of driving, but not street knowledge of driving.
I can tell you this, man.
Says the guy that speeds.
Mike, I know you're on the road a lot.
So I got that street cred.
I'm never on the road, but I was on the road for an entire week driving around, and I can tell you this, man. People are... 95% of the people are on their phone.
Yep, constantly.
I mean, at least where I was in Alabama.
And you can't. It was just get out of the dead lane.
It was. I mean, there wasn't someone. It was odd to see someone who wasn't on their phone.
Everybody's self-important.
It's unbelievable.
Alrighty. More than half of people have bought something they saw a celebrity or influencer promoting on social media, according to a new survey.
I don't know if I bought anything because they pushed it.
Well, I mean, if you see somebody wearing a cool shirt and you buy the shirt, that's still technically because of it.
But that means that you would have to search what the shirt is and find out what that shirt is to know what it is to go buy it.
Or you run over.
So you'd have to investigate and figure out what it is. Or you already know, I guess.
You know, maybe you saw it, said, that's a nice shirt, and then it showed up in your Facebook feed. And then you
like when I said I really like those new LeBron shoes, and they sent me a size 13 pair for free.
Yeah. But I saw, like, I used to always watch Jesus and Mero when they were on Viceland. I saw Jesus Nice wearing a shirt, and I was like, that's awesome. So I did Google it. And then
okay, there you go.
Yeah, they did.
The fear of missing out is a big part of life now, mostly thanks to social media. But a new study found it's way more mentally healthy to take breaks from your phone and social media every day to embrace the joy of missing out.
Yeah, no
I fully agree with that.
Okay. I remember, like, when I was growing up, like, my parents, like, my mom was like, you can't go to everything. And, like, generally the person that goes to everything probably has a bad life. Like, what's going on?
Why are my parents saying
they can never be home? They can never be by themselves? Like, you don't want to go to everything. That's
their own.
Right? I tried to go to everything for like 10 years.
10 years.
You drink too much.
A new study confirmed that kids do prefer it when their food doesn't touch.
Yeah.
And they'll eat more if foods are separated on their plate.
Oh, for sure, man. Kids, they're...
You're right. That's
listen, man, they're hinky about every goddamn thing you put on the plate. If they touch, to them, it is now cross-contamination.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can tell them. You can't explain it. It doesn't matter. There's no logic. It's just like, hey, man, just separate it if you can.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why the paper plates with the two holes are the best.
Precisely.
Oh, yeah. Those little animals that had the ears.
What are you talking about?
It was these plates, like Ted was talking about. The big hole was the face, and then the two little holes up top are the ears.
Wait, your parents hooked you up like that?
No, I just saw the commercials.
Okay, all right.
He was eating out of those and driving in his Power Wheels.
My parents taught me how to want.
By not feeding them for a week at a time.
A man in San Antonio threw an axe at a moving train last week, then it bounced off and hit him in the head.
Nice.
Oh, perfect
shot.
Just don't mess with trains.
Oh, dear. Women have been going on Twitter and posting catcalls they've heard men use that weren't creepy and gross.
What, is there like 3 of them up there?
Yeah, what do they include?
What's the second one called? Headlines I'm not working on.
All right.
Let's see.
I mean, I guess that would just be like,
Hi.
I can tell by the book you're reading you're a well-read woman and you seem intelligent.
In spite of your appearance of illiteracy. I mean, like, what is...
Nice backpack.
Nice Doctor Who shirt.
Is there a proper way to cat? I feel like it's just cat.
If you make a cat call, to me, it defines it as one thing.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's a compliment.
It's like a non-offensive slur. It's like, it's just not something.
I saw one, this guy, he handed a woman a lime, like a green lime, and she turned it around, and on it, written in Sharpie, it said, "This is a pickup lime." Hey, she liked it. Went on a date.
No way.
We have another death by stupid in the news. Was it getting close to an animal that they shouldn't have, a new internet challenge, or a selfie?
Oh, no. Animal.
Getting too close to an animal, yeah.
Ted?
I mean, it's got to be selfie.
I'll tell you all about it 1 hour from now.
Thank you, Mike Hawk. Headlines are on the way 1 hour from now. First, the game is...
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Steve Thrill Hill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Daryl. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, bichola.
Hola. All right, Daryl, you understand how this here game is played?
I believe I do, sir.
That is fantastic. Here is your story. We go to the fine state of Minnesota, where a man is facing several criminal charges after admitting that he rearranged the letters on a signboard outside of an Arby's restaurant to spell out an offensive message. Now, according to police, the 19-year-old man said that he was waiting for a bus when he decided to alter the sign outside of the eatery. He told the cops that he was bored at the time, so he gathered the letters from both sides of the signboard to create a new message which said, "Now hiring, N-bombs and whores." That's right, now hiring, N-bombs and whores. Well, a policeman actually spotted the altered sign around 7 o'clock in the morning, immediately removed the message, and then notified the business when they opened. Well, they did some investigating. They turned to Facebook, where it turns out the image had in fact been posted by his girlfriend, and that woman identified him as the perpetrator. But she did say she thought it was funny. Anyway, he was charged with criminal defamation, public nuisance, and disorderly conduct. The good news for him, they're all misdemeanors. But do you believe that this letter rearranging man is black, white, Mexi, or Jew?
And you said this is in Minnesota?
Minnesota. I don't know what city. Outside. So it's a Minneapolis suburb.
Ted, what do you think, Ted?
First of all, don't do that to an Arby's.
Yeah.
Just seems wrong.
Maybe they weren't hired.
Yeah, I mean, this whole thing could be a lie.
Right.
Obviously, you'd think it's got to be an angry white person at first, right? Because it's got a racial slur in there and horse. Or I'm thinking a white male. But I do remember there's been odd cases of, like, I think there was a guy that, like, defaced his car outside of college and put N-bombs all over it.
Oh, yeah, I remember that story.
But he was actually...
Right.
He was actually a black dude. And then I think we've seen it, too, where...
I don't even
white
think
people have, like, tried to, like, it's almost like, I think this might be a case where they tried to make it look like, you know what I mean? Like, purposely did it thinking it would be somebody else, but it might actually be a black dude that did it.
But I don't,
that makes sense?
Yeah, but I don't
and
think...
she said
But
she
that
thought it
makes
was
sense.
I don't necessarily think the motive is you know what I mean? I don't think that might not be the motive. I think the motive, I think this is funny.
I think inevitably, I don't even, like, even, it doesn't matter what, I don't think anyone did it specifically to be a racist. Obviously.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I see what
them,
you're
I'm saying, I think they think
it
it's
was
just funny.
Yeah, it was just like, let's put this up here.
See, I just think if a white person did it, it's to be racist.
Right, they would.
That's why I think it's a black person's there. Like, oh, it's kind of funny still.
Daryl, what do you think?
I'm thinking, well, do we know, did the N-word end in an R or an A?
That's a very good question.
That
Daryl.
is the proper question to ask them, because I was going to bring it up, but it is in fact spelled E-R.
I gotta go white.
White final answer. Okay, we're going to find out if the suspect was black, white, Mexican, or Jewish next.
That was a tease.
You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bichola. You have entered the men's room.
Profile this takes us to Minneapolis, Minnesota. We've got a guy who rearranged the sign there at the local Arby's to say something much more offensive. Actually, the sign said, "Now hiring N-bombs and whores."
That is correct. And Daryl, we asked you, did you believe that the perpetrator was black, white, Mexican, or Jew? You asked a key question. You said, how was the N-bomb spelled? Did it end with an A or an ER? I informed you accurately that it ended with an ER. And you said, white. Oh, sorry. Ted, you are correct. Black guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't figure anyone would get that. And you're like, man, I have the feeling. I'm like, it's Minnesota. It's an N-bomb. And you got it right anyway.
Just because, I mean, this is going to sound terrible, but I just feel like if a white guy had done it, they would have not been like, oh, that's funny.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I'd have no problem
like
posting
it's just
it up.
Racist.
Exactly.
So the fact that his girlfriend was just kind of
the
nonchalant,
girlfriend,
like,
okay.
oh, that's pretty funny.
Right.
Like,
All right,
I think that was the tip-off,
Yeah.
absolutely. Now, for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
famous people. Mm-hmm. So there's athletes, there's actors, there's musicians, all different types of people, right? Very few, I think, any of these people or certain groups get into that upper echelon of being, kind of like, I don't know how to explain it.
Like a Jay-Z level?
Jay-Z, right, but he's like
Tom Cruise or whoever.
Tom Cruise is
Just
probably up there.
All right, yeah.
Oprah.
Oprah's a great example, right? Oprah's one of those people. She just goes by Oprah. She's in that upper, like, I don't know what that sphere is. It's kind of like David Beckham is for soccer.
Right.
Or maybe Jim Brown is for football. You know,
LeBron,
there's certain
an icon, right.
Right, LeBron, right, Michael Jordan. So the Beatles are one of those groups, right?
Yeah.
So Paul McCartney, like, whatever he's done, and you guys will joke about Wings or whatever, but at the end of the day, he's Paul McCartney. He's a living Beatle, like.
Yeah.
I mean, it's him, it's Mick Jagger, Keith Richards. There's only a handful of those guys that mean that much, and he's got to be close to the top, if not the top.
Absolutely.
Right. So Paul McCartney, obviously, if you saw him, you'd be kind of shocked. So he was on with Jimmy Fallon. Now, what they did is at 30 Rock, where they filmed Jimmy Fallon, where they filmed Saturday Night Live, they filmed a bunch of stuff in there. So Fallon and McCartney hung out down at almost in the basement, right? I think it was the basement. I'm not sure. Either way, they're on a floor where when the doors open, there's nothing there except just kind of the two of them sitting there. So the people are just taking a tour of 30 Rock. They're not supposed to see Fallon. They don't have tickets to see a show or anything. They're just literally getting the tour. So some of the sounds you'll hear is that the elevator doors open. First, they're kind of sitting there reading papers, and Fallon puts his down, then McCartney. Sometimes they're playing ping pong. But either way, the reactions of the people is just because it's always oh man, there's actually Jimmy Fallon. Then it's holy cow,
Paul
there's
McCartney.
a Beatle. It's Paul McCartney.
Hey guys, I'm here with Paul McCartney, and today we're going to surprise some people that think they're going on a tour of 30 Rock. And then the elevator's going to open on the wrong floor, and that's where we step in. Ready to do this?
I'm ready.
Okay, elevator's on the way.
Fallon. McCartney.
Hi guys, want to see a magic trick? Paul McCartney!
I think Fallon's trying to get his feelings hurt.
I was going to marry Paul McCartney, so that's the closest I ever got, and I am thrilled.
Yeah. Go watch the full video at the Venture Facebook page. That's the thing. You do know, Jimmy Fallon, for as famous as he is, it's that's Paul McCartney.
Right. You're not going to win.
Yeah. And some of the people almost look stunned. You know what I mean?
Wouldn't you be?
Who would be bigger? In other words, if you were to ask any musician who they would be starstruck, as far as living human beings, not obviously a Johnny Cash or a Jimi Hendrix or somebody who you'd want to meet, but somebody who's still there, who you still have that kind of a feeling for. Besides Paul McCartney, you could say Ozzy in a certain level if you like more metal, but it's still Ozzy would be oh, Paul. In my mind anyway.
Probably. Yeah, probably.
Because it's still Paul McCartney.
Right, I mean, that's the issue, right? The Beatles are just...
they were before Sabbath. So, even, in 1964, Ozzy's a kid. Not a kid, he's in high school. But, at the same time, it's not... He hasn't become Ozzy Osbourne yet. So, you'd have to know who Paul McCartney is.
Who's not impressed to meet Paul McCartney?
Right, exactly.
Maybe Mick Jagger. Other than the fact I'm sure
Ringo
they've already
Starr's
met.
happy to see him. I mean, everybody's happy to
Paul.
see him. Yeah, it's oh, my God, thank you.
You were in the band, but I'm not him.
Oh, my goodness, what are you doing?
I'm Ringo. I'm just here for the fun.
And Ringo is...
I wear sketches.
Yeah, Ringo looks great.
I always forget he's still alive.
Ringo is the oldest of them all, and he looks the youngest.
Huh. I don't know.
Because you see Paul sometimes, I don't know. Ringo should be doing more stuff.
Yeah, he's entertaining.
Well, he set the...
he doesn't have to do anything. He's Ringo.
Right.
I can't imagine that he has to pay for anything. He doesn't have...
That's the thing. People probably buy him his food all the time, and the chef takes care of this. The dude's loaded. You could charge him 5 times as much.
The best Paul McCartney story, remember, I want to say it was a couple years ago after the Grammys or something.
Yeah.
Some famous rapper's having a party, and it's McCartney can't get in at first, and that's the part of the video everybody saw. But there was a second half where basically the rappers are who effed that up? That's a Beatle. He's chewing out the door. Somebody's chewing out the door guy. That's a living Beatle.
It's Paul McCartney.
Paul McCartney shows up. He gets in the party.
Yeah.
That's true. I can't think of a time where you'd be Paul, I just can't talk to you right now.
Right. You're right. Ringo Starr, I'm sure they don't do it, but they're two guys that could go almost, I would think you go to any restaurant and just be at the end of the meal, be I'm Ringo Starr.
Hey, Paul,
I was in the Beatles. I'm not paying for the steak.
And how many times do people walk up and go everything you've done, this is on us, you know what I mean?
That's what I mean.
Staff loves you, whatever. You just writing a big fat tip.
James Hetfield from Metallica, man, it was years and years and years ago. And he said, man, when we first started out, we're dead broke, right? All these kinds of bands. It took ounce of money we had to buy any equipment. Finally, things take off. The band gets big. Well, now all these guitar and amp companies want to offer us free stuff. He's like, I'm rich. He's like, I don't need your free crap now. So he would take a bunch of free guitars and stuff from all the different, like Gibson or whoever, and gave them to like different high schools and stuff like that. He's like, why do you give free stuff to rich people? He's like, I needed free when I was broke. I'm a multimillionaire.
Let's see. Speaking of being broke, one group of people that is always broke is minor league baseball players. I'm saying that kind of joking, but I'm also dead serious,
true.
and it's sad.
Unless they sign a big contract and they're just down there, doing a rehab stint.
Miles knows this very well. Minor league teams like to do kind of funny things, whether it's crazy food or funny names. This is a minor league team in Alabama. You know what? I'm just going to let the president of their club just kind of announce. It's the, I didn't put the second words on there. Hang on.
It's the
Rocket City.
That's it.
Best in the business. Best.
The name that we picked, the Rocket City Trash Pandas, was on 70% of the Rocket City part was on 70% of the ballots, and the Trash Pandas was more than 3-1 over the second place team. It was fascinating to watch. This community embraced that name, and they're going to embrace this team.
Is that for real?
Yes,
it's going to be on the jerseys.
We named the team Rocket City Trash Pandas.
That's so great. I saw two outside my apartment the other day.
If you don't know,
Trash Pandas, raccoons.
Raccoons, are often referred to as trash pandas.
Damn.
Yeah, I just like once again, just listen to how kind of excited he is when he says the name of their team.
The name that we picked, the Rocket City Trash Pandas, was on 70% of the Rocket City part was on 70% of the ballots, and the Trash Pandas was more than 3-1 over the second place team. It was fascinating to watch. This community embraced that name, and they're going to embrace this team.
I don't know too many minor league baseball teams that have huge rivalries. I know there's a famous one in West Virginia, but I like the idea of just being like the coach or just somebody in the stands being like, we're going to have pride. We're the Trash Pandas.
We'll take down the jumbo shrimp.
Right. And you know how coaches are. You're running those last sprints.
You're a Trash Panda.
Right. This is how Trash Pandas train.
Right.
If we're going to take down the Montgomery Biscuits.
Right. We have a Trash Panda standard here in Alabama.
Well, what's so good about going to see a game, man, where you do it? We have the Montgomery Biscuits taking on the Trash Pandas. And the Montgomery Biscuits mascot is a biscuit with a mouth open with a tab of butter for a tongue.
Is that really their mascot?
Yeah. Oh, it is.
Oh, boy.
It's going down in Bama, dude.
Seriously. Trash Pandas.
I don't know.
Biscuits.
I still feel like I'd feel better if a coach yelled at me to have biscuit pride than Trash Panda pride.
I feel like he's insulting you, though.
Yeah, the kind of
have some biscuit pride. Like, damn, man, what does that mean?
Yeah. Smitty, get some biscuit pride.
Sounds like an insult.
Are you calling me fat?
See, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, you're right. Biscuit in front of, whenever you reference biscuits in front of a grown man and you're not at breakfast, you're pretty much insulting him.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you say to somebody, hey, you want a biscuit? That's going to start a fight.
I think if you say,
if you don't have one,
do you want another biscuit? If they're not, hey, man, want another biscuit?
Let's see here. Jim Carrey says he thinks the time is right for an In Living Color reboot.
Why?
Well, I don't disagree with him. I mean,
if it's going to be any good.
What's that?
If it's going to be any good, sure.
Yeah, well, because SNL still does well. Remember, there was Mad TV after In Living Color?
Yeah.
So, I mean, shows over there, I think you could have two of those shows on Saturday night and do all right.
Sure.
And
no, but Fox isn't doing anything at that time. So why not?
And their shows, let's just be honest. I think those shows also kind of appealed to a little bit of a different audience.
Yeah, younger, hipper audience for sure.
Yeah, and a little more ethnic. So I think there's still room in the space for that.
Absolutely. And there's still room for situational comedy that's not political. And basically what a lot of the stuff they did was just more cultural comedy than it was political.
Right. And I mean, look, it's been a couple of years, so we all know Leslie Jones. But keep in mind, I mean, Saturday Night Live didn't have a black female until, 3 years ago or something?
Basically, someone brought it up, and the next day?
I'll hire 4 of them.
Got this chick. Was it Zamaya? Zameda?
What do you need, black women? I'll get 3 of them. Right. How many do we get? And 2 Hispanics, and we'll get rid of 3 white guys. Come on, let's go.
Let's see. You know what? When I say nipples...
Yeah.
What do you think of? Or should I say, who do you think of?
Farrah Fawcett.
I can't answer either of those questions. Farrah Fawcett's good.
But come on, who's like
known for their nipples?
known for their nipples?
Is it because they have 3 of them, or is it because
Bitches love to suck it.
Oh, Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, all right.
That's his quote.
Which he admits he regrets. But
Especially when he had kids.
Yeah, but come on. I mean, if his kids can't take that, then they need to toughen up a little bit.
But your kid's like 7 years old, right?
That's a
Here's
tough-
an interview
that's a
with your
tough
dad
quote.
from back in the day, and it's like, yeah, I got 3 nipples, and bitches like to suck it.
Yeah, like
Daddy.
you can deal with your dad running around in his
You just
Calvin.
don't want to hear that.
Right.
About your dad.
Look, as
Is
somebody,
mom one of those bitches?
as somebody that used to say the word bitch a lot because I thought it was kind of funny and this and that, like even I listened. It's like, oh my god, like that's we're saying bitches too much. You're leaning on bitches too much.
Let's just say like bitches.
Yeah,
Some
right.
of- Hello, bitches.
Right. He was very authoritative.
Oh yeah.
Bitches. So wherever he goes, he can't help but talking about his nips. That's what he does. Actually, no, he's just talking about working out and recovery.
Oh.
But it does affect his nipples, and he's talking to Ellen.
Okay, so we're back with Mark Wahlberg, and who works out a lot, and it's evidence. You just look at you, and you can see that. But I know you do something that's is it a cryo? What is it called?
Oh, the cryo chamber.
Cryo chamber.
You have to try it. The cryo chamber is like 150 below zero. You go in for 3 minutes, but you can move around. You can listen to a song. It really it helps with your recovery. Takes all the lactic acid.
I'm sorry, say the temperature again?
It's 150 below in the cryo chamber. That's like 55.
That's not true. You cannot be in 150 below temperature.
Well, that's what they're selling me. Yeah, and you can only go in for 3 minutes. You go in, you have a mask on, gloves, socks, a hat. But yeah, you go in for 3 minutes.
So that's all you have? No underwear, no other things? You just
I have a pair of underwear on.
How do you not get frostbite?
There's one in Columbus, Ohio, where you actually have to cover your nipples as well because they will start to really freeze and whatever else could happen. But it actually...
What about your stuff?
It just shrivels up a little bit. It's okay. It comes back to normal. But I'm telling you, it is great for recovery, and it just takes all the inflammation out of your body. It helps you sleep good.
Wow.
You should try it.
I've never done one.
No, obviously. I would be able to know if I did. If I stepped into anything minus 150 degrees, I guarantee you I would know about it.
Well, yeah.
Not something I want to do.
Yeah, I mean, they're great. A lot of athletes use them and stuff.
Right, and I get it for athletes, because they're athletes. Me, I'm like, I don't need it.
Yeah, and Wahlberg's on a different level, right? Like, the way
Yeah.
he works out, and he's a Hollywood guy, like, he needs to do that stuff. But yeah, it's crazy, man. Also, it's just funny, like, being kind
All
of...
3 of his nipples freeze.
I mean, right? He's got to put on 3 patches.
You look kind of weird. It's a 3rd nipple.
Yeah, right? Like, maybe that's how he finally gets rid of it.
I'll freeze it off.
Freeze it off in there.
What would happen if your nipples froze? Do they burst? I mean, I don't want my nipples to freeze, but what is the aftermath of my?
It would just
frozen
probably
nipples?
fall off.
Yeah, that's generally what things do when they freeze them. They just kind of fall off.
Yeah, like a toe, whatever. Like you have frostbite.
So, they can
it
freeze
just basically falls off.
Or isn't that what they do with not moles,
Warts.
warts?
Yeah.
Freeze it off.
them and break them out of there.
Not that I would know that.
What happened to Ted's nipples? Dude, he went to a cryo chamber. Didn't cover no. Don't bring it up.
Fell right off.
Yeah. I mean, it's still amazing that I still have them.
It is amazing, Ted, that you still have your nipples.
And the foreskin tags you had.
I'm just saying, you think I would have evolved out of the nipple by now. Not feeding little puppies.
I don't know why guys have nipples.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense.
Either just God. This morning I was brushing my teeth, and for some reason I was wearing just shoes and socks. Nothing else.
Wait a minute.
What? Wait, what?
Hold on. You were brushing
You're
your teeth
butt naked.
wearing shoes and socks.
Correct, because I had taken everything else off, and I was brushing real quick. Or no, I put those shoes and socks on first.
How are you going to get your pants on over top of them?
I was just putting on shorts, dude.
All right, okay.
But I'm just saying, try that this weekend, everybody. No. It's a mental experiment. Walk around a little bit, shoes, socks, nothing else.
The thing is, I have this horrible image in my head, specifically of you in your shoes and socks brushing your teeth.
That's a weird thing to do.
It's kind of freeing.
Okay, all right.
Okay, was this intentional? You just realized you forgot your shorts?
I just stumbled upon this comfort.
Okay.
Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. All right, Mike's got your headlines coming up here in just a few minutes. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Dallas police officer walks into the wrong apartment and shoots the man who lives there dead. Meanwhile, a naked Florida man starts house fire, baking cookies on his George Foreman grill, and now is living in a shed. To Yosemite, where teen taking selfie falls off a cliff. Man and seagull and cheeseburger leads to quite the tiff. And a dad and son are trampled by a giraffe in South Africa. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the head. lines. Here's my cock.
All right, our top story. The mainstream killer has claimed another life. Was it an animal, a challenge, or a selfie?
It was a selfie.
2 for 3.
Yeah.
It was an animal, but it was a selfie. A teenager visiting Yosemite National Park fell to his death as he was trying to take a selfie with a famous waterfall in the background. He had joined the Israeli military and was out on vacation before reporting for duty and had the accident while out climbing.
Just take a picture of the damn waterfall.
Damn. Don't go chasing them.
Down, chase the water.
Thank you, Mouse. Damn. All right, in other news, it is time for another episode of
Man vs. Beast.
Ribbit.
Man vs. Beast.
never gets old.
Miles loves that.
God damn it. He's never going to cut it.
No, I'm not. It's going to stay that same length.
Jesus.
A man in New Hampshire was enjoying a day on the beach when out of nowhere, one of the most annoying animals known to man, the seagull, attempted to steal and eat the man's cheeseburger.
No!
Yes.
Can't do that.
It happened. It was actually a flock of seagulls.
Oh.
And he ran so far away.
Why can't you punch a cheese? Why can't you punch a bird if he's trying to take a cheeseburger?
I didn't get there, Miles. The man used his foot to shoo the birds away, but managed to accidentally strike one of the seagulls. This, unfortunately, is against the law, so he was fined $124 for
It's
hitting
also
the bird.
against the law to steal another person's food.
Right.
Well, how was that okay?
And why is the seagull protected?
I'm sorry. That's
They
what
are
I'm
rats
saying.
with wings.
You're stealing my food, dude. I'm allowed to kick you, shoo you away, something, right?
They're basically a flying raccoon. They steal things that really is just garbage.
If we were in
Flying
Applebee's,
trash pandas?
Yes.
if we were in Applebee's and you randomly walked up to my table and took my cheeseburger, you might get one to the shin.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Now,
And
you're
the
still going to
cops
get hit with
wouldn't
assault
press
for it,
charge.
but I'm going to get hit with theft charges.
Right.
Yeah, same rules.
Damn it.
Equality.
A strange story out of Florida. Fire officials responded to a call about a house fire. They arrived on the scene to see smoke coming from inside, and that's when it got weird. A naked man opened the door to the house and said, "I'm sorry," before closing the door.
And went back in.
Yeah, that's not the end of it. That's when police were called. The man was clearly unaware of what was going on, as multiple things inside of the house were on fire. He was just walking around, didn't even give a damn.
Is this like an old guy, a stone guy? Or?
You know what? I don't think it really said the man's age, but he was naked. Let's see. The man was removed for his own safety, and he later admitted to having drank 2 liters of vodka.
Damn.
And smoked marijuana, a bender that started at 9 o'clock that morning. This man was gone.
I still feel like you should notice a fire.
You'd think.
But I guess not.
Yeah, right. But if you're out of it, good enough. The man had attempted to bake cookies on a George Foreman grill, and that's what started the fire in the home.
First of all, you don't make a cookie on the George Foreman grill.
Like a cookie waffle.
I don't understand.
Is it a waffle cookie?
What the? I mean,
I
because
get
you
could
cook
make
it on both sides. It can't rise.
You could toast something on there, but
don't bake a cookie.
No.
Don't bake on a grill. How's that?
Yeah, that's probably a good...
Unless it has a... Well,
another in-home accident. A woman in Connecticut is in the hospital with serious injuries. We talked about her during the shot of the day after she wanted to light a couple candles. Thunderstorms in the area had caused a blackout at the home, and the woman recovered some candles from the basement of her home that were actually left there by the previous owners. Unfortunately for her, when she lit one of the candles, she suffered extreme injuries to one of her hands and may lose several fingers, as it wasn't a candle at all. It was a stick of dynamite.
I'll just trust this dynamite that the people before me left in the basement. Like, how do you not just have a random candle somewhere?
How do you not
Right?
identify dynamite from a candle?
Well, Ted and I were saying earlier, I'm not sure that I've ever seen dynamite.
I've never seen dynamite.
I don't know what it looks like. but I
Well,
don't think it looks like a
red, and
candle.
it has a fuse.
Yeah, you think it looks like Wile E. Coyote
I
stuff,
promise
right?
you, you would know.
And it doesn't feel like wax when you
Right.
grab onto it. The bomb squad was sent to the home where they found other explosive devices and disposed of them. All right, gentlemen, we are not done yet. It is time for yet another episode of
Man vs. Beast.
Ribbit.
You could just butt the two stories together. Sequentially.
It's not done yet.
Yeah, the segment stays the same.
that thing, is it getting longer?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think you just add stuff to it every time.
It's been a while. I needed a couple.
Yeah.
In South Africa, a mother and her son were returning to their home when they accidentally surprised a mother giraffe with her calf. The two were attacked by the mother giraffe and were badly trampled by the time the father came and scared off the giraffes. The mother and son were airlifted to a hospital where they underwent surgeries for their injuries. Both are still in critical but stable condition.
You think that's a joke, man, until you've seen those videos like on Planet Earth where a giraffe gets up on its hindquarters and
they fight dirty.
Just starts swinging.
They like kick a lion.
Yeah.
Like, God,
they don't care.
Right.
And then they do the neck swing when they fight each other, man. But
I've seen them fight each other, and those little fuzzy horns that they have on the top of their heads, they aren't near as fuzzy and soft as they look, man.
They look like kiwi.
Guff you up. Yeah. That's right.
Just say what you want. You think they're a-holes.
They are. Giraffes suck.
It's kind of what I was getting from Mike. Like they suck in every capacity.
They do. They just sit there and stand above everybody, and they're all uppity.
Looking down at it.
That's right. With their purple tongues that are really friggin' long.
Like I need that in my life, giraffe.
Stealing my carrots. Damn, giraffes.
Yeah.
In Mexico.
That's why you wear glasses.
Pardon?
Never seen a rabbit with glasses. Carrots are good for your eyes. Carry on.
They are.
You weren't following there, Mike?
I couldn't even make it through the day without getting that dad joke in. Damn it.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of animals without glasses, man.
Most of them, in fact.
Owls predominantly wear them.
They're smart. Right. They read books.
You don't see a lot of glasses on animals.
Oh, you
really don't.
They don't drink from them.
And a lot of them don't eat carrots, man. That's a real headline. Look at that. I have glasses and my cock is out.
Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time for the random question. Your guess is as good as mine. Men's room rules, and we will drink and toast with the shot of the day.
Yeah, some crap like that. But in the meantime, we be all about this badge. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.